Hey y'all, it's Champy here. Welcome back to the channel. Last week we took Store Championship with Red, White, Neo, Xeon. And if you guys want to see that vlog journey, check out this video right here. Today we're going to focus on my deck list, ratio, and some of the matches. So let's jump right into it. All right, start with the profile. We got my deck here, Red, Neo, Xeon. Let's go over the units, flats. As our low-level blockers, we just need to see these cards. I'm running for Lifers as well. So we're running 7 total for our blocker, low-level blocker package here. And the reason why we're running 7 instead of like 8, for example, is that I want to see it enough, but don't want to just have so many. I need to free up slots in the rest of the deck list to fit other things. So I felt 7 was the right number call for here. I was testing it at 8, but I just felt like either I see it too much and it's kind of easy to deal with if you're running into blue matchups where they can just rest it and just kill it with Gundam. And it feels a little bit bad, but overall it's good against aggro. I think 7 is the sweet spot. So that's what we're running for our low-level blockers. Then we're running anti-aggro 2 Sword Strikes here. And the reason why we're running Sword Strike is just so good against aggro. We fight Blurpool or we fight when you're on war. It just helps us kind of recover a little bit. We can bounce a card, deal with one, then they have to ping it out or trade into it. We want them to trade into it if possible, and we could try to keep it alive. But 2 was good. I was actually running it at 3. I cut 1 for this card right here that I'm going to show, which is I'm running a 1-off of Aegis. So I was actually running the Sword Strike package 3 just to deal with aggro all the time, but then I started suffering a little bit in control matchups, and I felt the 1 Atherin came in clutch in a lot of my games, especially in the Store Championship, where it helps me on some of the control where like I can ping out those bigger units or I can set up ping plays with it. Also with Atherin, I can like tack directly a unit, and even against aggro is also helpful. Like sometimes they're just standing there with you and you can just link and attack it. It's just, you can start to show, start putting pressure on them. But yeah, running 1 Aegis. I'm running for the next blocker package. I'm running 2 silver bullets. I wish I could cut other things and put more of it. I was thinking about cutting the low-level blockers to fit more silver bullets. It's just too good in this meta right now, which is good in the mirror match with red white versus red white. It's also super good against Blurpool, where like they have no way around this card. Like we could just block something and then they can't ping it out. It just kind of lives forever. And if we pair it with full frontal, since we're running this in this deck, full frontal, makes it a 6/6. It's just so hard to deal with, so hard to kill. It just lives forever. It's such a good card. Also, it's good against wing. They just able to burn it with 0 right away, for example. It's just super good. But yeah, definitely MVP. I've been thinking about cutting 1 AL just to fit a 3rd, but I think 2 is in a good spot. I know a lot of people run Perfect Strike over him right now, which is good against like the leg matchups and stuff, but I still think Silver Bullet's here to stay right now, just for all the pinging and just able to survive that. And as for our next blocker in the same category, we're running the playset of Ale. There's not much to say here about this card. This card is just one of the best cards in the game, and since we're especially running the Cura package, we just have to see this card, and especially against aggro in this meta, we have to see this link. This link is going to keep us in the game. Be able to bounce a body and attack a body, it just helps us get back again, especially if you get them back to back to back. It's just devastating, and we're running 9 pilots right now, so we have other ways to like make him a 6/6, and he's on tappable unless they ping him. But overall, broken card, so good. From here, we're running Sananjo package. We're running 3, not 4. This is a card we cut off. I think 3 is the right spot. I've been thinking about cutting 1, just so I can fit something else, but 3 is really good. It's good because we can use it with Neo Xeon if it's not paired to ping for 3. There's a card that gives us high maneuver. We can kind of deal with blockers. Have to figure out a way to deal with him. He's good against aggro. If you're ahead, where you can just start smacking face and pinging for 2. But yeah, I'm still looking for my 3rd LR plus to finish out my decking on my deck. But yeah, So go to the next card here. We're running 3 justices. And Justice is just too good. I mean, we're running Atherin in here, so we just have to run Justice. He's just too good. Like, give us 2 bodies. We can ping for 6, and we got Neo Zeon paired, which is, you know, linked is amazing. We have the Atherin for the link, and, you know, we can just attack or double attack in that turn. He's just too good. Yeah. Let me go to the next card. We're running a one-off of G-Quarks. I was running it at 2. I had to cut it. I had to cut it to fit more cards in the deck. But I was running as a one-off just to catch up. If I happen to see it, I could get back in the game. And I don't see it. It's not a big deal. It's something I was thinking about cutting 1 Justice to fit 2/2, but I feel like I heavily prefer Justice over G-Quarks right now. So just super good, because sometimes this card is not that great in aggro matchup, because like by the time I get to 8, I'm either losing or his ping for 3 doesn't get me back in the game. So Justice kind of helped me stabilize a little bit more. So that's the reason why I'm running that over G-Quarks a little higher. Then we obviously the man himself. What the deck is based off of is Neo Zeon. It's just so good. You get to end game with this card, it's just devastating for your opponent. Very hard for them to recover. Very hard for them to just do anything out. He could just sit there. He's kind of unrestable. And as long as you get the link, you can just start pinging away. And you also can swing as well. But he's just so strong. A lot of people have asked me why I'm not running a 4 off of this card, and I just felt it's a little bit cloggy sometimes. I think 3 is just the right amount. And there's also the deck list is already super tight on cards. Like, we have to try to figure out how we can cut certain areas. I think 3 is really good. I never feel like, oh, I'm like needing a 4th. You just got to be conscious of when you do pitch it for overflow, that you only have 2 left. You know, you got to be conscious of those kind of ratios, especially with the deck list how I have it right now. I have a few one-offs, so I got to be conscious of it. But yeah, 3 Neo Zeons. Then we're going to go into our pilot list. We're running 3 full frontals. We're not running 4 just because we only have 2 links in the whole deck for it. And we are not using the pair effect. We just don't have any of those Neo Zeons or Zeons to play. So 3 is the perfect amount. We like the stat line, which is a 2/2, which is super great. You can put it onto anything and just make them a little beefier, and they can survive a little bit more. Like I said before, you can put it on Silver Bullet and just put way more pressure. But anyway, just super good with Sananju, and you can even put it on Justice and just make it even bigger. So super good card. But yeah, 3. We're running a 2-off of Atherin, and the reason right now we have 2 targets with him as well, which we just have the Aegis and the Justice, and just seeing this is just great. Also, you know, the two health helps us a lot against some matchups. You know, we can just put a Silver Bullet and increase it to 6, like I said before. You can put it on Ale as well and make them, you know, 2, and they can rest it sometimes. So really helpful. I just really love it to be able to smack faces. A lot of times this came in clutch during my Store Championship, where I was able to just kill a standing unit from a purple player, and it helped a lot just catching up and dealing with them. And of course, we're running the second most broken pilot in the game, which is Kira. Just so good, so good. You know, -2, we can stop slapping on any of our blockers and just put pressure. Mostly is here for Sword Strike and Ale, just to have their link, and we can, you know, do their thing. But overall, we could put, you know, we can put this on Neo Zeon, we can put this on Justice, we could just, you know, smack face and -2, and we just, you know, keep being ahead. Yep. Then we were running for our commands. We were running 4 close combat, and this is just to deal with aggro, especially our turn 2. One of the reasons that when I was building the deck, I was thinking about going first or going second. I wanted to be able to play both standing. If I can go first or go second, this helps us like fish to try to fish for this when we're going first, and, you know, just be able to control the board. We can just ping out if they're aggro. If they're not, their control deck, hey, great for us. We can just try to climb our way up, and we use them when we need them. Them being in the shield and bursting, it just puts a lot of pressure on our opponent, and they gotta be really questioning if they should be teching a shield or not. So yeah, helps a lot. We're running the rest of the ping package. We're running 2 Battle of the Aces. Not running 4, not running 3. I was actually running 3. I cut 1 for running this card I'm mentioning right here, which is Overwhelming Pressure. But before getting to that, the Battle Aces just helps us get rid of stuff. Like, there's many times when I was playing the Store Championship where my opponent would just rest my Lifrith and attack with Gundam, and then I would just like play Battle Ace and just get rid of it, which is just so hopefully just get that 3 damage when we need it. So, you know, you got to kind of set those plays up, but when you get them, it's just devastating for your opponent. Battle Ace has just helped a lot, especially against Wing. We can try to, you know, this helps us ping out Wing Gundam or any of the big units that they have, or even when they bring out their own ale and attack into one of our units and then finally take some damage, we can just ping it out, which is super great. Yeah. Going to the next card here, it's Overwhelming Pressure, which is super good. I know a lot of people are not running because it doesn't have burst, but I'm running as a one-off. It's really good when I see it. I mean, in my Store Championship, I was able to see this card 2 times, and it was really devastating. I was able to just kill out a Gundam outright that they just play vanilla, and I was just to get out of here with that. And also, like, they play Ale, I could just one-shot it. So it was just such a good card. Super underrated. I think people are not playing it more. I mean, if it had burst, it would be like definitely a 2-up or 3-up. You know, we just play it way more. But yeah, such a good card. Love this card. The last commands here, we're playing Overflow. Just simply is our draw engine, our searchers. We're able to just like get the things we need, get the right pairs. Since we're running 3 different pilots, there's ways that we can filter and find the right things. I think the problem with a lot of players is when they use Overflow is that they use it too early and they actually don't know what they're playing against, or they end up pitching the wrong cards, and that hurts them in the long game. This was something like used to happen to me when I was playing a lot of Wing. I normally was a Wing player, so sometimes using this card, we use like pitch 0, and then later on you're like, damn, I threw out this 0, and I've never seen it for the rest of the game, and it kind of costs you the game because you just thought you wasn't going to get there, right? But this card I tend to hold it much longer. I don't play it on turn 2 often. Most of the time I do play turn 2, it's just like I really have a bad hand and I'm trying to fix it to, you know, either especially when I'm playing against aggro to try to recover. But most of the time I see people just play this just willy-nilly, just spend it. It's kind of amazes me that some players do that still. But yeah, this is such a good card, but also is like a double-edged sword, I feel, most of the time. And then I think for our last 4 cards, it was our bases, which we're running 4 mining base. I know in red-white we have a lot of bases that we can play here. You know, just we have the pink bases, we got Archangel, we have the new, I think it's like Division 7, I believe, or I don't remember the name, but it's like the one that you can remove 1 command and you can minus by 1. That's a very good base. A lot of those bases are awesome. I have tested all of them, and they're all good. Like depend on the matchups, but I just feel like I was expecting playing against aggro at the most, especially for Store Championships, and this the 0-6 base just help you just put the bad odds in their favor, where if they don't have Link, they have no way to break this in 1 turn. They have to spend multiple units to try to do it. And especially like during my matchups in Store Championship, with this card, 2 opponents end up hitting my shield, and this was the first card that flipped. From there, it just like halted their whole game. And from there, I'm able to ping out, recover. It just helps so much. This is one of the bases you definitely want to hold in your hand, especially this deck is like very similar to playing Wing, where you're like surviving on 1. You can just come back with just having 1 shield, and if you have an extra base in your hand, you just save it to the very last minute to start using it to just take over the game. But it's such a good base, such a good base. I wanted to cut 2 of it out to play a different base, but I just felt like every time I tested that, whenever that base flipped up, it was just like they make 5 so easy and they just kill it. Like especially aggro, they just break it right away. Rizal with with another unit, or they either put a pilot on it, which is kind of the same thing. If they have Rizal and they put a pilot, they could just break this too. But it's like you have to spend more. I feel like the 0-5 is like they just make, with all the weenies that they play, they could just make the numbers very quickly. So I just felt this was really good, especially like if you play 1 year war, they can get a breach a lot and they break the 0-5 right away. But 0-6 is like, oh, they really got to think about it. Sometimes they decide not to attack, which that's what we want. We want them to not to attack us as much as possible so we can just try to recover. But yeah, that's my 50 card deck list here for my Neo Zeon that won Store Championships. So I'm gonna go over a little bit of the matchups, and I'll go over some of the cards that were like really impactful in the deck. My matchups were round 1. I played against Blurple, and then round 2 I played blue white, and then Round 3, I played Blurple. Round 4, I played Blurple. And round 5, I played Blurple. And some of the key things to that matchup that really helped, that I was just helping me kind of control them a little bit, was actually Battle of the Aces and Overwhelming Pressure. Even though I'm only running one, when I saw that card, I was able to just like ping out their pretty much their link. Like getting rid of their link early just helps so much. And I'm not focusing on getting to Neo Zeon there. Like every time I was playing those matchups, I think I rarely did Neo Zeon on any of those matchups. I think the only match I was able to actually link it and win off of it was my round 4 opponent, where he was just rushing me the whole time. I finally survived with Mining Base, and I got to 9, and I was able to link this, ping out a unit, and then just kill a unit. And from there, he had a decision. Either he sacrificed his whole board and kill this right now, or sacrifice everything and break the shield, and then hope I can't destroy everything else. And he decided to just break shield and just pass. And from here, since I had a link, the next turn I just dropped all lift rips, and I just blew up all the rest of his board. And from there, he just, like what he's gonna do? He's gonna try to attack. I just block. He would need double link or something, for example, to try to come back. So that was messed up his part. I think if he would have sacrificed board, I mean, I guess it would have been either or. I had a bunch of blockers, but just surviving with this, pinging is just so strong. Another card that was super strong was definitely Athrun. It was just Athrun with Justice. On that 7 turn, just getting this linked, killing one of the units, use the blocker to kill another unit, just put us back. Most of the time, when we get into this turn, I'm at like, maybe 2 shields left, maybe, or 3 shields sometimes. And with this pair, I can just come back and have to make decisions like, do they kill Justice this turn? Especially if they don't have enough ping to get rid of it. Or should they go shield? Sometimes they go shield, and then like I get a close combat, for example. It's just all she wrote. From there, I just start killing the rest of the board, and as long as they don't keep having a hand, it would, I can survive long enough. But yeah, though the card was kind of coming back, I felt like the card that was kind of lackluster a little bit was Sedanju. Like, it was the point that was like, oh, this is such a bad card. I felt some of the matchups, I did pitch this a lot in some of my matchups, but I know in my 3rd round matchups, I ended up drawing 3 of these, and I'm like, holy crap, I'm gonna lose the match because of this card against my opponent. He was just aggroing me, and I didn't see an overflow to save my life to pitch this. And one of the things I got lucky was on that turn was I was able to get full frontal, and I paired it and just like swung at shield and ping one of his units, and I still had like 4 shields left with a base, and he decided to trade into it, and that was like one of the best decisions to help here, which he traded his units, and from there I just like played another one, but usually I just don't like this card against aggro. I just feel like I can't do like a Providence where I could just like attack. I could just attack and ping a unit at the same time. You either attack shield and ping, or you attack and that's it. So I don't know. I have a love and hate relationship with Sedanju, but overall, I like it when he works. So most of the time, I feel like he does it. I feel like the real MVP of this whole deck is L. We could use him with any of our pilots. We always get his effect off. He's a good blocker. We just got to play smart on when to link him. Against aggro, sometimes we won't have that decision to delay playing this card that much, but sometimes like you have to see that pair. Most of the time when I'm playing against aggro, I'm looking for Ale and I'm looking for Kira. Especially if they attack and shield, most of the time they can give it to you, and it helps so much. And also I'm looking for Silver Bullet and against the Blurple matchup. But yeah. But overall, that's how the deck plays. Definitely let me know what you guys liked about the deck. Did it work out for you guys? Are you guys playing it in your local scene? Is there any cards you guys disagree with that I said that it wasn't as good or good? Yeah, I'd like to hear your thoughts, and thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and like and subscribe. Peace.